Hello everybody, this is Keegan83 of We Fell in a Tree, and this is the first episode of the new Super Gaming Network series. Today's episode is about the Blue Blur himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's been nearly 20 years now since we first saw him make his debut on the Sega Genesis, running through the Green Hill Zone and confronting his longtime nemesis to this day, Dr. Robotnik. Being a gamer since the late 1980s and among the Sonic fan base since I first met the dude back in 1991 at a friend's house, I, like many, have seen him evolve in some of the best games in video game history. He's been in awesome games, that's for sure. But, like a lot of other video game characters out there, he's also been in, well, terrible games. Ah! Dang it! Moving on. Sonic is celebrating 20 this year, and though he's been on the tail end of a bumpy ride the last few years, he's been having a renaissance these days with recent games like Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 and Sonic Colors, which have provided a breath of fresh air for a series that needed a breath of fresh air. Which brings us to the biggest question for this rant, which involves the 20th anniversary among the subjects. What kind of games are we going to see this year? Over the last few months, there have been a lot of rumors running around, and I do have to give some prompts to Sega and Sonic Team for keeping quiet on this subject, and what they haven't planned. Their current direction on Sonic seems to be paying off so far, so once again, I do have to give them prompts. Here's what I've managed to gather, at least on my end, on the possible 20th anniversary games. And if I missed anything, feel free to comment. The rumors I've run across, as well as reports, these are coming from my sources from Sonic Stadium, ComputersandGames.com, TSZ News, Sega Community Blogs and Forums, and Wikipedia. They have indicated on my end that Sega is working on 3 new games for Sonic this year, and so far only one of them seems to have legit evidence. That would be Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, which has now been reported to be in early development by Sega's own Ken Ballo. I hope I got his name right. And he's also noted that improvements to the game are being made, as well as new stage concepts being used. So hopefully that works out after the complaints about Episode 1 especially, that included the game's physics. Some would call it something that definitely needed to be improved upon. Others call it overrated. Well, regardless, Episode 1 did have some things that hindered it, so once again, hopefully Episode 2 turns out to be a better episode in Sonic 4. The other 2 games mentioned have not even been confirmed. Some reports have said that there's another Mario and Sonic crossover game being developed. We were due for another one of those, right? Well, there hasn't been any news about that since the fall. The last game that may be in the pipeline as well was the codenamed Sonic Anniversary game. It was said as early as a Sega in play back around last fall, maybe even the late summer, but may have been mistranslated. It's kind of unclear, at least on my end once again, that Sonic was going to have the best levels taken from his games from Sonic the Hedgehog 1 all the way up to Sonic Adventure 2 and update them for release in retail. And it was also added on a follow-up report that the levels were not only going to get updated as far as graphics wise, it may have also contained the gameplay style of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Colors. But like the Mario and Sonic 3 rumors, this possible game disappeared without confirmation. And well, where do we stand right now as a fan base? Well, we're still waiting on that batch of news that Sega's been promising us. They did say we were going to hear something about the 20th anniversary in the first part of the year, but nothing yet. Hopefully soon we'll hear the announcement of the games in mind, and with the plans in mind for Sonic's 20th year. Now, to pretty much finish up this rant, I know a lot of fans out there want to see their own kinds of games, and they have a particular wish list of what they want to see for this special occasion. Well, I have a list too. I'm going to be throwing in my own 2 cents here, so to pretty much be honest, you guys don't have to agree with me. This is strictly my opinion and thoughts on what I'd like to see for the 20th anniversary. So, yeah, here's my 2 cents on what I would like to see for Sonic's 20th anniversary. At least get announced this year for the future. Let's see, the first thing on the list is I would like to see Sonic 4 Episode 2 this year. I know it's a real gimme, and it is. But I do want to play the next episode and the rest of the episodes in mind for it. I did like Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. Despite some of the problems it may have had, I still liked it nonetheless. Now, as far as another Mario and Sonic game is concerned, I actually wouldn't mind seeing that. But if Nintendo and Sega make this game, me personally, I recommend a World Cup game, similar to maybe the Mario Strikers games in a ways, but not like Charged. That game was just too chaotic for me. No offense to the fans who like Mario Strikers Charged, but that game it's just so chaotic and hard for me. That's just how I feel. For those of you who like it, that's okay. Now, I'm also hoping for another 3D Sonic game that's really good, something that can really wow us. I'm not saying anything to offend Sonic Colors. I really like that game. In fact, it may be the best Sonic game on the Wii today, especially in comparison to games like Sonic and the Black Knight and Secret Rings. Some people like that, but it seems Colors took a good step in the right direction for the main series, and I'm just saying that. It's also because I guess it's the thought of the 20th anniversary games that make me wish for something special like that. So that's where I stand as far as a brand new 3D game in the future might go. And last but not least, I know it may not happen, and it may offend some of the people listening to this. The last game I would probably like to see for Sonic's 20th anniversary at least get announced, and also in certain stipulations, Sonic Adventure 3. Yeah, I'm still hoping for that. I know it's been 10 years since Sonic Adventure 2 came out for the Dreamcast and GameCube, but I think it would be cool if it happened. I mean, to see the Sonic Adventure series finally get done with a trilogy, which included the first 2. If it happens in the future, I'll definitely be looking forward to it. But I don't want to see it in a way that takes the future Sonic games in a direction that we're not going to like. We already went down that a few years ago. And I think the direction where Sonic's going right now, I think it's just fine where it is. Hopefully Sonic will continue to have better games in the future. Well, with everything said, this is the end of the first episode of the new Super Gaming Network series. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to comment. I like hearing what other people say, and I like having a good conversation involving the games. So, with everything said, I'm Keegan83 of We Fell in a Tree, signing off, and you have a good day, everybody.